to play a vital role in ending child marriages.
One challenge that we have seen is that they started without involving public affairs committee. So when people were officiating marriages of maybe young children, they didn't have information. So it was lack of information for the religious leaders, and they continued doing that. But now, since we are learning, what we want is to provide information to religious leaders, not to be officiating the young children.
The multimedia approach utilizes multiple channels, including interpersonal communication, which will reach out to millions of people and help address the malpractice.
On Thursday, Saulos Chilima, wife to the country's vice president, said child marriages are damaging to Malawi's development agenda. Madam Chilima was speaking in Cheu, where she appreciated efforts by World Vision Malawi to fight child marriages and other forms of violence against girls and boys. James Oljauluka was there and has filed this story.
Worldwide, 15 million girls are getting married before the age of 18. Here in Malawi, 46% of the girls are married before the age of 18, while 9% of the girls are getting married before the age of 15. Sensing the danger, World Vision is implementing various interventions to try and end child marriages and other forms of violence against children in Malawi and in Tonda in Nchewu in particular. Chilima, who is one of the ambassadors of the fight against child marriages, said child marriages are detrimental to the development of the country as they rob girls opportunities to grow into productive citizens.
We are basically shutting down the future of our girl child by turning her into a mother when she's not ready. So as a result of this, most of these children that have babies as teenagers suffer from problems like fistula. Their children have different disabilities, and sometimes we even lose the mothers to these teen pregnancies and these child marriages. So it's something that we're trying to address as a country, and I think everyone needs to get involved and take part by, first of all, addressing the cultural practices that encourage child marriages, and making sure that the bylaws are followed in the villages and the communities, just to make sure that our children learn and become contributing members to society.
World Vision Malawi officer in charge, Catherine Omenda, said the problem of child marriages is huge in the country and needs concerted effort to counter it. She said the problem of child marriages needs multi-sectoral approach, saying it is both an economic and a social issue.
The fight against ending child marriage can't be done by just an organization like World Vision alone, which is why we bring in the traditional authorities, we bring in the chiefs, and we bring in the local law enforcement agencies like the police and the government agencies. So when a child like this is rescued, then we connect them with the chiefs in the area, and we make sure that they're working together with the girl's parents to make sure to have this girl first return to school if she's one who's of age to return to school, so that at least we know within the formal schooling system she will be able to be retained.
Judge Zone Ntaba, who is also ambassador of the fight against child marriages, said the courts stand ready to protect children from abuse.
As people continue migrating to urban areas in search of opportunities, it has come to light that poverty is not only a rural problem. In this special report, Isaac Salima discusses pains of urban poverty.
Welcome to Blantyre City, known as a commercial city. The place is ever busy as people engage in different business activities. From a distance, the city looks full of life as amazing buildings added to its beauty. To some, Blantyre is their dream city. However, few kilometers to the northern part of the city, the journey takes you to Chemusa in Mbayani. Here the story is different from city life, as urban poverty is visible from a distance. Meet 51-year-old Aneka Mulangira, a vegetable seller. Her day begins at 4 in the morning as she joins fellow vendors at the Jirimba market to buy vegetables in bulk. They then set off to surrounding areas for door-to-door vending of the vegetables. Kamulangira is a constant figure around areas such as Chilomoni. On a good day, she fetches around 4,000 kwacha, which she uses to feed her family.
I woke up at 4 in the morning and I have to set off on foot to sell the vegetables in areas such as Chilomoni. Such is life, so that I can properly take care of the children.
Her alcoholic husband, Leonard Kamulangira, a security guard, rarely supports her. They have 8 children, of which some are into marriages. Around lunch hour, when we visited them, the husband was already drunk. Our next destination was Bangu area, where we met 20-year-old Obrej Bangano. He is a primary school dropout, uneducated but determined. Obre survives on piecework. He mostly carries stones on his head from Bangu Mountain and sells those in construction works.
I resorted doing this piece of work because there are no employment opportunities available for people like me. I also face a lot of challenges doing this work, as some bosses do not pay us after we have done the work.
These are some countless tales of struggles that some urban dwellers are going through. Each day people flock to cities in search of opportunities to take up informal jobs. Lack of affordable housing mostly takes the people who flock to towns wherever they can live. Each day people like Anne Kamulangira and Oble have to struggle to put food on the table. Recent studies and statistics worldwide have shown that people living in poverty are more likely to have more children. Blantyre City, with a population of about 800,000 people, is proving too small and inefficient to meet the demands of people migrating from rural areas. Blantyre District Social Welfare Officer Stephanos Joseph encouraged people to change mindsets that towns and cities are bed of roses.
For those that can manage to stay in their communities and work in their gardens and whatever, they should be able to do that outside, because town life is not all that easy. But those that are coming to town, they must have concrete plans. For example, if they want to engage in business, they must make sure that they have researched on the business that they want to undertake.
As most of the urban poor struggle for employment opportunities, Employers Consultative Association of Malawi President George Kaki said most of the job seekers do not possess necessary skills.
No, the industry will always tell you that the skills that are needed in the industry now are in short supply. For example, we are talking about interpersonal skills, communication skills, those behavioral skills which are more important in the workplace now are in short supply.
The rural-urban migration has seen cities of Blantyre, Lilongwe, Nzuzu and Zomba growing at a fast rate. According to the United Nations Habitat for Humanity, Malawi is set for what it calls absolute urban growth that will exceed rural growth before 2025. The 2020 Integrated Household Survey conducted by the National Statistics Office indicates that the percentage of people living below the poverty line has increased from 50.7% in 2015 to 51.1% currently.
A special report there from Isaac Salima. You're watching news at 8 on Times Television, TTV, and Times 360 Malawi Facebook page. We'll be back after this short break.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Tikolole! Kungonjezera mayunitsi ATNM kuyambira 200 kwacha kapena kuposera pamenepo mutha kukhala mmodzi mwa mamilioneya mu TNM Tikolole promotion. Koma mukaonjezera mayunitsi ndi 100 kwacha kapena kuposerapo mudzilandira mabonus oyimbira foni, SMS kapena data pompo.
TNM, always with you.
Welcome back. You're watching news at 8 on Times Television, TTV. National Economic Empowerment Fund says it has recovered 400 million kwacha out of the 6.8 billion kwacha it gave out nationwide loans. Currently, the fund is still disbursing loans in a program which started in February this year. Feston Marekezo has more in this report.
National Economic Empowerment Fund Public Relations and Marketing Officer Waiton Kapasule says in order to recover the remaining chunk of money, they have also embarked on an intense sensitization campaign. Kapasule says in some situations they are issuing demand letters to clients with outstanding loans, engaging debt collectors, and even opting for formal legal redress. The 6.5 billion kwacha was borrowed from the Export Development Fund. Currently, the government-owned microfinance firm, NIF, is also disbursing loans and exercise that started in February 2021. As of May 7, 2021, NIF had disbursed 5.8 billion kwacha to 24,380 individual clients. According to Kapasule, they have so far collected 596 million kwacha as loans that were disbursed in February, whose due time was March, and some in April against a collection target of 613 million kwacha. But commenting on the matter, Catholic Commission for Justice and Peace National Coordinator Boniface Chibwana says NIF needs to learn from the past and refrain from politicizing the loan facility.
We need to have proper mechanisms in terms of how will the fund disbursed, who are the people that are eligible to receive the funds, and do these people have business plans? Do we do due diligence to the people that are supposed to receive the funds? Yes, we understand that in Malawi poverty levels are very high. A lot of people don't have resources, and it's a wish of each and everyone to have capital to start business. But at the end of the day, this is a revolving fund, and the funds, they have to be refunded.
The loan facility was increased from 15 billion kwacha to 40 billion kwacha.
People of Mangochi are on Monday expected to hold demonstrations over delays by the government to prioritize construction of the Mangochi-Makanjira Road. Mangochi's Southwest parliamentarian Shadrack Namalomba has told Parliament that lawmakers from the district are in support of the protests. Audrey Kapalamula has the detail from Rilongwe.
Namalomba, who stood in the course of deliberations of President Lazarus Chakwera's national address, said the blueprint speaks nothing of the construction of the Mangochi-Makanjira Road. He said despite people voicing out on the matter several times, Chakwera has not mentioned anything in his national address.
Previously, we have heard, and we as members of parliament, even all concerned citizens, have been voicing out that we need the Mangochi-Makanjira Road. It is in bad shape. You can't even drive there, even during now when the rains have stopped. We have been voicing in this parliament that we need the Mangochi Chilima Baraka Road. Many times have we come in this house and voiced the same. nothing has been said in the zone.
His confrontation in the chamber forced the leader of the House, Richard Chimwendo, to respond to the matter and said the road is part of the government's priority. Chimwendo said government will make sure that the road is constructed within the shortest period possible.
The Mangochi-Makanjira road is a priority, and this government is going to make sure that this road is constructed within the shortest period possible. But we don't just want to come here and promise as what DBB did, put everything within the next 9 months. This is the shortest year ever, a 9-month year. Because of the change of the calendar next year, we couldn't fit everything within. And we also have to do that according to the resources that we have. But if you look, the president has given a priority to all the regions.
He added that the district has not been left out, citing Mangochi-Nsanama Road as one of the roads included in the address. The leader of the House also indicated that government has prioritized 8 roads in all regions that are critical for the development of the country. The House will continue to deliberate on other matters, including Chakwera's address next week. Chakwera is expected to appear before the House to respond to some of the issues lawmakers have raised.
And in other news, University of Malawi Registrar Benedicto Okomatani Malunga has called for collaboration among local universities to improve tertiary education. Malunga made the call in Lilongwe on Friday during a joint graduation ceremony by Malawi Institute of Management, University of Bolton, University of Derby, and Cyprus Institute of Marketing. Wezi Gausi was there and has filed this report.
Malunga says as government is fostering reforms agenda, it is proper for tertiary institutions to sit down and map way forward on how best they can work together.
We are operating in a globalized environment where what happens elsewhere affects us locally. And higher education institutions, by their very nature, are international institutions. And that's the more reason they should always look out for what is happening elsewhere, so that if they get something of benefit from there, they can quickly use it.
Chairperson of MIM Board of Governors, Lewis Zimbiri, says due to increasing demand for access to higher education, his institution embarked on a long-term degree programs through collaborating with other universities.
For MIM should be supported in a big way, and all MDAs, ministries, government departments, parastatals, and even non-government organizations, even the donor community, is indeed to support the Malawi Institute of Management, because we are promising better future for the institute, especially now that it is becoming part of the Malawi School of Government.
One of the 427 graduates, Mese Manganda, said she was happy having attained the paper. She has therefore advised young ladies to follow their dreams and never to give up.
That's the news for now, but before we go, the headlines again. Vice President Saulos Chilima has presented a government systems overhaul report to President Lazarus Chakwera. Stakeholders maintain child marriages are affecting development in the country. And in our special report, Isaac Salima discusses pains of urban poverty. You've been with me, Wonder Musisia. You can get more on these and other stories by visiting our website, www.times.mw, liking our Facebook page, Times 360 Malawi, and following us on Twitter at Time 360 Malawi. Remember to wash your hands regularly, observe social and physical distance, and mask up. Please stay safe. Continue watching the rest of the programs. Good evening.
Kukondolera kupambana kwa timu ya Flames kupita ku AFCON. FDS Bank yakubweretserani